Resurrection V2 from e-phoenix. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this, the Resurrection V2 from e-phoenix. Swiss made RDA from the guys at e-phoenix. They brought us the Hurricane RTAs, all the versions of that. They've done Resurrection V1 RDA. This is the V2. Bottom feeding, sort of specialising in being squonkable RDA. Bottom feeding RDA. That is, it's very much its intention. It's a low profile RDA with dual coil and single coil options. The way it does that is very neat. It uses a separate drip tip to completely shut down one side of the RDA. It's available in this matte silver finish and this really cool matte black finish as well. Really nice to put together, as you'd expect. It's got a very interesting design and it's very low profile. It's got a very interesting airflow setup going on, and it's a very flavour intense low profile squonking RDA. Let's go down to the table. I've had some trials and tribulations building this. I feel like I've absolutely nailed the build for me now. So let's go down and I'll show you how I got on, and then we'll come back up and I'll mention some like build tips and things that I've experienced with the ones that didn't go as good and how I've got it going exactly how I want it going. So let's go down low. Okay guys, here we are down low with the e-phoenix Resurrection V2. Comes in a little box like this. Got your ID check on there, that's their website on there too, all that good stuff. Opening her up like this, and you get your normal pin, you get 2 spare grub screws and 2 Allen keys as well. You also get this is the drip tip if you want to use single coil. Yeah, absolutely perfect. You just drop that in instead of the drip tip that's in now and you've got single coil. Obviously, that does mean you can't use your own drip tips on this. C'est la vie, you know, that is a potential negative for some people. So, this is the RDA. Now, first thing I want to try and explain is the airflow. So, it's coming in here, it's hitting these grooves, and then going in directly at the coil. So, it's kind of raised airflow that goes down and acts like normal. So obviously if you put it in like this and turn it like that, you are reducing your airflow. It does have adjustable airflow, so you can do that if you like. Obviously it's not super airy, RDA, but it's quite nice. You'll see me vaping it up top. It's quite a nice, smooth, generous airflow, fully open, and you can turn it down as much as you like and it doesn't affect the vape quality at all, purely for your preference. So that's the adjustable airflow. Obviously you've got a single coil hole as well. You've got your drip tip, which obviously you can pull out to put your other one in, but you can't put your own drip tips in it. You've got your squonky hole here, but obviously you can plug that with the additional screw that I showed you just before. And yeah, it's a 22mm matte finish RDA, e-phoenix on one side. You've got your serial number and Swiss made on the other. Opening her up, and we have our deck. Now you can see it is your traditional 3-post design. So the actual juice, when you squonk it, is coming out of this tiny hole on the side here, but it instantly fills up the whole deck, which is lovely. I'll show you that when I've put the cotton back in. So you've got your 3-post design. You put one coil in here, one coil in here, and then turn it around. You put another coil in here, tighten this up, and you just screw it down with your grub screws down there, along there. No issue there at all. Obviously you wick it in the traditional manner, and I'm going to show you how to wick it right now. Okay guys, so we got it all built up and put together now. Back on the SVBF, looking all lovely. If we take the cap off, you can see the build all now wicked up. Got it all wicked up, as you can see. Now the key bits here are that you have no cotton here, right underneath here where the air is coming in. You don't want any there. Also, you want it, look how low it is here. The coil is here. The actual center post goes way above it, and you don't need much cotton in there at all. And those are the sort of keys to it. Check out the squonking action here. Literally instantly juices up all those coils. Absolutely superb. I love that. One little press and you are golden. Okay guys, that was the Resurrection V2 from e-phoenix. Really nicely put together RDA. Very different, you know. I think we are in danger of falling into a trap of all RDAs and all RDTAs and all these things all starting to get a bit too similar. So it's really nice to be thrown this RDA and having to deal with you know, a whole different set of circumstances. With these low profile RDAs, you really can get super intense flavour without going crazy low ohms. You know, you don't always have to do that. If you get yourself a nice reduced chamber, really tight airflow, you can get a really nice flavoursome squonking vape without going crazy low on the ohms, really high on the wattage. You don't necessarily have to do that if you pick your device sensibly. Now, I talked about several build tips throughout the download bit and experiences I've had. Obviously, this is a very small deck. It's a 3-post dripper, and it's got this airflow thing which takes some of the room away as well. The way I've got it working the best for me is 3mm diameter coils. That's your absolute maximum, and you've really got to squeeze those in. You can go to 2.5mm very happily as well, but 2.5, 3mm coils, as low as you can get them. You want them low so that when the airflow goes in and down, it's hitting right on those coils. You know, it's not a top down. It does matter where you put your coils. And for me, the smoothest airflow and the best flavour, the coils have been nice and low. The other thing is, you know, you've got to leave room for your wicks. You know, you've got to leave room for wicking. One really nice thing about this RDA is the way it squonks. The juice absolutely floods and fires up all over the RDA when you squonk it, which is really nice. And because of the design of this airflow, coming higher and then going lower, you know, you never have any trouble with the juice coming over the side or anything like that. So from that point of view, it's really well put together. Another danger with an RDA like this is that the airflow would feel really jagged, you know, really encumbered, you know, and turbulent. That can happen when you start moving your airflow and making it do things. But luckily with this, it's really perfectly beveled, really smooth like that. It's not like the support where it's jumping downward. It's not going at right angles. It's very well beveled and chamfered and smoothed out in there. And I'm getting really smooth airflow. But if you want to get smooth airflow, remember, keep those coils as low as you can, and also don't pack underneath the coil with wick. I think that's a good tip for squonking in general anyway, but really, you really don't want to put coil directly underneath. You want that air to be able to get around the coil. For me, that's the smoothest, tastiest way it has worked for me. So, negatives on this. Now, I'm going to give you a list of things that may or may not be a negative for you to bear in mind. Like I say, I want to cover all the bases so you know what you're getting with this, and ultimately the decision is yours. So, it's got a very unique look. You've got your matte finish going on, then you've got this gold brass band, then you've got this black band thing going on, you've got quite a unique drip tip. It's quite... I've never seen an RDA that looked anything like this before. Very interesting looking indeed. So I guess, you know, to some people it might look a bit blingy, I guess. I really love the look, especially on this blacked out SVBF. I think that just looks like a great combo. You've got the black and the matte going on really nicely. I really like the look, but I know I've already seen, you know, comments elsewhere, social media stuff, some people not enjoying the look of it. I think it looks great, but that's definitely something I'm going to mention. Next thing, 3-post RDA. They were really popular a long time ago, but they're not so popular now. One thing with the 3-post is coil position. You know, you have to put a bit more effort in if you want to center those coils. Luckily, with the way that this is designed, you don't actually need to center those coils. You can stagger them off and you just turn your top cap accordingly and you'll have a good run at it. So it's not super issue with this, but it's a 3-post RDA. There is a reason that we've moved away from 3-post RDAs. There's only so much coil leads you can get through one hole in the middle, you know, so your insane builds won't go in here, but they won't fit in here anyway. So it's not a big deal breaker, but it is 3-post. I know some people don't like 3-post, so I've got to shout that out. The other things that I'm going to mention are, again, just elements of its design that you just need to know before you buy it. It is low profile, very low profile indeed. It's a very reduced chamber. It's got very thick walls on here. So it's a 22mm wide RDA, but with really thick walling. So the deck is probably down to something like 17mm, 16mm. So it's really tight, compact. It's very short. So it's a low profile RDA. That means, you know, if you try and put in a crazy low build or try and bump up your wattage way too high, it's going to be spitty, it's going to be bitey, it's going to get too intense, too hot, too quick. You're going to get juice all up on the inside of your cap. And yeah, it'll be a hot mess. It'll be a hot mess if you try and go too crazy. Low profile RDAs, just got to dial it back a bit and you still get the same results, but you're dialing it back a bit. So it's great. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. More comfortable on battery life, more comfortable on juice, but you're still getting that great tasty vape. But it is low profile. It does come with restrictions, build restrictions, where you vape it restrictions. So it's something I just want to mention again. Beyond that, I'm really enjoying this. It did take me, not going to lie, 2 bad builds, 1 okay build, and then nailed it with this 4th build. It did take me a few goes, but that's because I'm coming from so many squonking RDAs that are 24mm, clamp post, 4-post, 2 big post, coming from all these big cloudy RDAs, and so it was just a bit of a culture shock that I couldn't just whop in a big staple alien Clapton fused gargoyle coil and it would just be happy and fine. Now I've got a lovely cheeky little build-in that I'm happy with, and it is vaping superbly. Really enjoying it. Smooth airflow. Now I've got the coils low, now I've got the wick out of the way. It's a lovely smooth vape, really tasty, really enjoying it, really enjoying it. You know, we're not talking about huge clouds here, but I think very substantially fine clouds. You know, I think it's a nice vape. This is just on a mech as well. Very ample clouds in my opinion. So a really tidy RDA. I'm really enjoying it. Build quality superb. Flavour and vape quality superb. I love the way it actually squonks, the actual squonk action on it. I know that seems like a strange thing to say, but it literally floods the RDA when you press the squonk button, and I love that. And it sucks it all back down, all the excess, but it really wets your coils straight away. So many of these RDAs that are coming out now, these squonky RDAs, the design is that you loop down your wicks really far down, so the squonk only gets the bottom of the wicks, and so it has to wick itself up. Not with this, you know, it completely juices up those coils. So I think it's really well put together. It's really well made. I really like the looks. I really like the way it vapes. I think it's a solid RDA that I'm really enjoying. Obviously, price point is high with this. e-phoenix stuff tends to be on the higher end. I've seen it on some European sites for around €130, around that mark. You know, that's the price, that's the way it is. If that's out of your league, then that's out of your league, and that's life. But you know, for that you are getting a European designed, European made, really well made RDA, and I think it is superb. So if it is within your price range, definitely check it out. I've been Vaping Vick, and I'll see you again soon.